Peace, love, and divine light, beautiful souls, beautiful light beings. I have not posted the video that a clip, a short that I made last night as of yet. So if you're seeing this, you may see it after, before, whatever. But yesterday I stepped foot outside of the home finally because I kind of took the day yesterday to reset my energy. The way we spent the eclipse day with my family was actually connecting to Mother Earth, helping her through her birthing stage, being consistent and working on what we needed to release and let go of so we can be lighter and make that jump. That split that I've been telling you guys about, if you've seen the videos, the tale of two worlds, etc. And when I talk about raising your vibration, and in the past video I mentioned it too, just catching some people up just in case. Now, this is what's been interesting, is how intensely I have felt it. When I awoke yesterday, I felt like I had a reset to my beingness. Then, through the day, I felt really, really, really light. Like, doing the work was one thing, but feeling the environment, because I'm very, very empathic, I oftentimes will feel my environment and find myself overwhelmed by other people's emotions, the feelings of the world, etc., etc. I didn't feel that. It felt like quiet. The birds outside of my window were on 1,000, which I loved, just hearing the baby chirps, the adult chirps, and just feeling the unity of nature. Now, I know that this is only the beginning, and at the beginning it always feels good. I do know that there's more to come as well. And this is not to say that there is chaos coming. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but there will be some chaos coming. So I'm saying it to not say it, right? Because I have to put you all on truth. Like, I have to be transparent. I have to put you on true status. So we're going to talk today a little bit about how we can miss and avoid some of that through learning how to ground ourselves the proper way. We just had a video about grounding, but this is an updated version to this grounding, which is going to be superbly important. So grab your water, get your energy right, get your mind ready, and let's do this. All right, so let me give a brief catch up to some of you. So in case, and just in case, I don't post the other video I was talking about, but so what came through for me on yesterday in regards to what's going on is that the Mother Earth has birthed us into our new era. In the tale of two worlds, I talked about the two worlds that I saw, the one of complete chaos and the one that was bright and lighter and crisp. Well, that bright, lighter, crisp was that split that I was speaking about, because the old earth birthed a new earth, right? And this is the cycle of life. We already know that everything in nature, everything in existence births something else. And that new thing is always a new version of itself. Our children are new versions of ourselves, right? So when those birthing parts happen, they happen in phases, they happen in stages. And this was no different. And it's still going to continue. So I mentioned in that video that if you're a mother or have witnessed birthing in the process, you know that there's the birthing pains. Then there's that gentle yet aggressive and intense release once the baby comes out. And then once the baby is there, it's like, oh, I feel such a relief. I feel replenished. I feel, okay, what's next? You feel overwhelmed with joy and love and laughter and all of this stuff. And then you want to connect to the child, and the child wants to connect to you. And there's the hustle and bustle of chaos in the rooms, et cetera, to get everything in place. Of course, this depends on if you go natural or if you go, medically. But my point is these stages that you expect and anticipate. Now, inside of um, our birthing process with Mother Earth, the chaos that we saw, the earthquakes, the flooding we've seen, the wars, all that has been leading up, right? And it's the frequency and the vibrations that have been put off, the spikes we've been seeing in the Schumann frequency. It's so much that has been telling, but a lot of us, I don't think, saw it for what it was and understood what was happening. But inside of yesterday, she made it apparent to me more than it did the day before. Even though I was doing the work, I was just in the vessel of energy trying to make sure that I was getting the most out of the day. But what I hadn't recognized in that day of is that I didn't realize I was channeling information, first of all. I think it was my higher self that was actually guiding the day. But as we did the grounding and the releasing, we were also sending energy to Gaia so that she could have a little more easement inside of her process. But when she spoke to me yesterday, or when I was hearing her energy yesterday, there was a deeper understanding of the correlation. And we sometimes forget that everything in nature is just a repeat on a macro and on a micro. They are the same. It's how we perceive it. And once we begin to perceive it a little bit more like real and closer to home, then it'll be easier for us to correlate, relate, and understand all of life in totality. And that is a lot of what this new earth part is going to be about. We have to get to the point where we are completely looking at one another and one is in unison. You are I and I am me. What you're going through, I'm going through. What you have gone through, I've already gone through and I can help you through, right? And so that's what she's kind of helped me to understand. Now, as we are now in day 3, and I am a little bit reluctant to say this, but I was very upset with myself. I was like, ugh, I was trying to put the music out, was trying to put the Christ consciousness out, and every part of my beingness and spirit, that is, was like, hey, calm down, wait a minute, everything is in divine order, don't forget that. And I'm like, I know, but I said, right? Now, it's really important that we keep going within the next 7 days. When a mother is going through her birthing stages, there is a part where she still has to relax and be inside of herself and be inside of her healing and be inside of her her new stage of self as she is, processing both sides, of course, but staying grounded, right? Staying supported by something and staying sustained by something. And this is why a tribe would normally come around individuals and keep them grounded and keep them supported so that they can heal appropriately, accordingly, and move into the next phase, which is raising literally the child, right? So, and that just a heads up, that's kind of where we'll see a little bit of the chaos. Now, that chaos is not going to be where you're thinking like the sky is falling. It's just a continued unwinding of the old earth as we are stabilizing inside of the new existence. And this is where it gets a little tricky because from what I comprehend, although we may have transitioned into the new earth, there is also the old earth and the new earth that are going simultaneously, right? And you will still see echoes of the things we saw before the split, all the drama that's been on TV and media, all that stuff is going to continue. But this is the thing. You'll just be watching it from a view. You'll be disconnected from it if you are stabilized inside of the new earth. Now, if you're not stabilized inside of the new earth, then you will feel it because you're stabilized inside of the old earth still. You have not found yourself inside of the actual transition. You're kind of still stuck in it, right? So it seems as if I'm gonna have to jump for a second, right? So I keep hearing people say in my mind, like I'm like watching somebody through, what's it called, remote view, like, like, what does this even mean, kind of thing. And I want to break it down for maybe that person that's watching. We have attachments to everything around us, to our loved ones, to our work, to our home, to our cars, to our story. Let's talk about that. The story that we want to hold on to of how our life is, what is the truth, what isn't the truth, what we're not allowing ourselves to be pliable in our story, right? And so the story, this is the thing that I've learned over the past few years, is being written as we speak. Now, it was once that it was already written, because that's what the sacred texts have said. But we've moved into a new phase. It's been like this for at least 4 or 5 years now, where we are actually writing it along the way. Now, those who learned how to manifest and how to write their story and create their reality, that has been their superpower. And then those that did not know how to do it yet had to stay with the default of the story that was already written. But now, all the papers thrown up in the air is how I'm seeing it. Spirit is showing me right now. It's like someone took a stack of papers and said, nope, we're going to start over. This is the new way. So this reminds me of that, my favorite movie when I was a kid, which was Never Ending Story. Although that movie was scary AF for me as a kid, I was addicted to this movie. And the boy, which I can't remember his name right now, Atreo, something like that, I think, or that might have been a character. Anyway, I'm getting off track. The movie was showing me in that of how to write your story, but I didn't comprehend it at 6 years old. I didn't 5 years old or whatever I was. I didn't comprehend it, but I get it now, right? Like, it's amazing how movies and music are soundtracks to our life. That part. But the fact that that is coming up is reminding me that I have to write the ending. It is up to me to write the ending. Okay? So, what I intended for us to do originally was to have the music, because that was the instruction, create a musical playlist. So I have some chilled out music that I created. It's like, I called it the sold out Eclipse playlist, so that it's something that keeps you chill, but keeps you in the flow, right? But the intent was that you have something to go listen to and go within. Music got frequencies behind it to help you release, to help you heal, and to help inspire your emotions and your frequency to keep striving. But all of this I'm saying is that the intent was to do this and put up the Christ consciousness music so you can keep getting into alignment. I already put up the Christ consciousness, and if you've listened to it, that was almost a year ago. But time has passed and it's been pushed down. So I'm going to repost that again, and I'm going to post it so that it's going to play over a longer length of time. Please check in and do it. Please, 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 please. This is really important because it helps to prepare your energy. It helps to reset your mentality. It helps to reset your body as well, because it's the codes, it's the affirmations, and you put them together and they are creating and recoding the body and activating the DNA all at once. Very, very, very powerful. Now, I've had a lot of people have good results with that, and I want that for you too. But that was the preparation to everything. Okay? Then we're going to go into the music. The music is just to help you so that you can create and write your story. You've got to rewrite your story. Well, how is this going to end? Yeah, that's how the story went. Let's reframe the story, but also let's write the ending the way we want it to be. So in creating your vision board, you need to go online, like Pinterest, Google, pictures of things that you want for your life. Your life vision board is essentially what you're creating. You're not just creating a year, you're creating a life board, which is larger in magnitude, but I need your intention to be stronger behind this as well, okay? So your life vision board is how it is now and where you want it to go, what you want the end to look like, What do you want the in-between to look like? What do you want to feel, express, experience? So you can, print off words. You can, and if you want to print it off, because I'm going to give you an alternate route just in case, you can print off words, you can print off pictures, destinations, things you want to collect, houses, cars, things like that, if that's what you want to do. And we're going to get to that because we've got to do different in this realm. So your vision board has to be more immersive than that. But when you really, well, I'm getting off course. Let me go back. The digital form, if you don't want to print it, which I completely understand, who wants to have all the paper, even though it is pretty fun to cut and stick, just saying. When you have it digitally, you just go into Canva. You can go into any software that you use to cut and paste pictures and add your own flavor and customize things, because there's so many different apps out there. My perfect app is Canva, and you can just go into Canva for free. You can go into photos. You can type in what you want it to say instead of having to look for words. So it's kind of more easier to do it this way. But in any way you choose to do it, make a day of it, make an evening of it. If that's all the time that you have, listen to the music and just allow yourself to get it done. Because today is the second day post the eclipse, and tomorrow is the last day of the eclipse. Let me make sure I have that right. Today is the 10th, 8th, 9th. Yes, the second day after the eclipse. My days have been a blur. And on the third day is when the energy shuts down a little bit. Not completely, but it kind of like simmers down, right? This energy is high. It's really, really, really high. So you want to take advantage of it. Anytime we have high energy points like equinoxes and changeovers, transitions, supermoons, things of that nature, and this is when you want to take advantage of the energy that's spiking, because it propels you forward and gets your message to the universe a whole lot faster. But also what it does is it helps the energy helps to propel the request forward, and gets more faster results, quicker results, things of that nature, because you have to focus the energy. And if it's focused, that's one thing. But let's say it's traveling slow, like pigeon, pigeon courier, right? It used to be faster than riding a horse, or you know what I'm saying? So I know I'm going way back, but what I'm just saying is we don't use those ways anymore, right? So you use the energy, you use the power that you have available to you to carry it forward, and that's what my point is. Okay, now here is the key part to all of this. Now, when we are making this vision board, I want you to focus your energy on how you can be more in unison and more in community with the all of everything that exists. How can I be of service? How can I help something else, someone else, etc.? We've got to get out of the collecting of things. Yes, it's nice to collect things. Yes, it's beautiful. But at the end of it all, what does it actually do for you? And inside of the new earth, that dynamic, the paradigm, is more about how the paradigm is more about how I can be of service, how I can create things more succinctly. Okay, so this is more important than all the things you want to put on there of what you want to have. Now, the interesting thing is, of course, once you begin to do these things, naturally, life will hand you the things that you desire, right? Some of the things that I'm going to get into after this is, of course, self-love. That's really, really, really important at this time when a mother is going through birth. She has to give herself grace. She has to give herself the utmost love, and that is how our bodies are going to heal and how our bodies are going to ground. So, and speaking of grounding, we're going to get to that in just a moment. I just want to make sure I get these parts out to you of the precept, or however you decide to do it. There's no first, last, or anything. It's a choice, okay? Now, self-love is one thing, but we also got to get into purpose. Inside of what I continue to make sure I'm bringing forth into the lives of others is helping people to go through their proper healing through the different modalities that I use, but also helping them to realize their worth and their value. I mean, you can only see that for yourself, but when someone points it out, it helps, right? And so I do a lot of self-love coaching. I do a lot of rewriting your story coaching. I do a lot of spiritual awareness and activating your gifts. So not only do I help people to heal, I help them to activate and remember and recall through past life things. I also help them to pull things forward so they can use it. All of these things, without even going into all the details, but all of it in totality is to help that person become who they're meant to be, so that they can fulfill their purpose. And inside of this new earth energy, we are supposed to be focusing on what we are here to do more than anything else than being of service, right? And so because of me, myself, going through this journey of working and focusing more on my purpose, life has paid me, universe has paid me, divinity has paid me for what I have sacrificed and devoted my life for, right? So what I'm sharing with you in that is I've walked the walk, and it is always worth it to fulfill your purpose and fulfill your mission. Okay. So I say all this to say is please stay tuned. Please keep tuning in to the videos that will be coming up, the podcast as I finally start posting that. Look, this podcast has been in the works since 2021. I have a whole first episode that's been done, and I have not released anything or done anything with it since. So, you know, the higher ups, the divinity realm, has been riding my tail about it. So be sure you lock in, because I intend to share as much information as possible, because we've got to have as many people prepared and ready and knowing the tools to do the work so that we can all expand. Because it can't just be one of us out here or a few of us out here doing it. You know, it can't be those that's already done it. It's a collective thing. And although I generally sell a lot of what I share through my services and through other things, it's like time out for that. How can you be of service for those around you who are tuning in to you, who are finding you? So this is my dedicated walk currently, okay? So you have to find that one for yourself too. What are you willing to give that you have, that only you have, right? And you may not know what that is, but I promise there will be more that's going to come up that's going to help you walk through that, all right? So stay tuned, all right? So let's talk about this grounding. Very interesting thing that happened this morning. I was actually in prayer, and I was taking an intentional shower. And intentional shower is really where you're just like intending that everything be wiped away, that you get a fresh start, that you are saying affirmations and drawing forth the energy that you've left behind the day before, that it comes back to you, et cetera, et cetera. Very powerful way to start your day. I'm doing this, and Gaia is like, you do realize that dream I gave you about the solar experience, where people came and gathered around the world and they wanted to see the sun, and then we were all on the cliff. If you haven't seen that video, it's a couple of videos back, it's quite a few back, but it was in January, and this dream, she brought it forward to remind me that that dream was more about everyone came for the one solar event, but this wasn't the event. This wasn't what we came here for. We came here to go to the other part, which is what I kept sensing, and which the high priest was like, what did you see? And we went into a cave. Well, Gaia said, well, that cave was going within. Going within yourself is the cave. And I was like, duh. So I understood what she was saying. So in getting back to that, please go watch that please go watch that dream, because that dream had a lot of parts and pieces to it. But that dream, I've been trying to understand it, and there is more to come, because if you listen to the dream, it talked about how we went into the cave, and I was telling them what I saw in vision, and they painted it, and then this beautiful mandala came through, and then Divine Mother came through, was speaking through the activation of the wall. So here I am talking to Mother Earth, and she's a divine mother, and she's speaking. You see the correlation, right? So it's just kind of really, really like deep, right? The sun is baking me, but I'm okay with it. So, um, but remember, if you remember, if you watched it, if not, watch it and you'll understand it. But then there was a second part, and they were like, hey, we've got to go over here for the next session. There's another event that's coming. And we gathered up and we went to the next wall. Well, what she said to me this morning was that that next event is the next eclipses that we're going to be having. Now, these eclipses are going to be happening in the fall, September and October. And these particular eclipses will be the end of the gate that's currently open that allows us to decide which world we're going to exist in. If you're going to exist in the chaos world, you're going to stay attached to it, then that's where you'll be. And just like in the Kali Yuga conversation I had with Goddess Kali, she was expressing you can stay and exist in the end and the destruction, but it's going to be hard to, not hard, but challenging to experience. But before you get to the golden age, you have to go through all of the destruction and all the chaos, right? But she was saying in that particular video, in that message, but I'm trying to give you a cut across, right? This is the cut across you got to pay attention to. And that's where we're at now. Many of us have cut across, but not all of us will stay. And this is more so because people are so attached to the old reality that they can't get on board and stay the path of the new bridge and the new reality. So some in their spirits will kind of turn around and go back, kind of in a sense. And some of them will just kind of fade out. Now, something else I wanted to make sure I help to push at the understanding along with this. Please go and watch the movie, The Celestine Prophecy. I'll leave the link below in the comments, and this will help a little bit. I don't know why my eye is tearing. So the Celestine Prophecy movie is going to help you to really make more understanding of what the vortexes do, the energy vortexes, right? And so in this movie, pay attention specifically to the part where they're running from the police and they're running from the bad guys, and they get to the sacred grounds, which is an energy vortex. And inside of this energy vortex, they literally meld with the vortex and they disappear. And the police and the bad guys come around the corner like, where'd they go? That's because they were in a higher vibration and a higher consciousness because of what they were studying was sacred text that was lost and stolen a bit. But when they were inside of this vortex, they weren't able to be seen because if that vortex frequency was too high, it was dimensionally too high for those who were chasing them, who were coming to bring the fear and the pain and the sadness and the aggression, right? So that lower energy could not touch them in that higher energy field. So when you understand this and you understand how you have to be careful, okay? Because what happens, I want you to pay attention to this part, is one of the guys, he's very uncertain about this whole process. He's a foreigner to the land and he's an American, but he doesn't understand. And because he doesn't understand and he doesn't get it completely, he kind of wigs out that he's being chased and they have nowhere else to go. So he drops down into fear. And because he drops into fear, those that were chasing him were able to find him and they were able to capture him, right? So this is why they were saying, if you're not careful, you can fall back into the other realm. So please watch that movie for clarification, okay? But if you are certain that you want to take the golden lighter path into the golden age, then it's going to be really important that you participate in this grounding ceremony. And I know this video is going on long, but there's so much I needed to get out. All right, so if you want to stay inside of this new earth era, the transition, okay, where it's less of the chaos and destruction, you're going to have to ground inside of the new earth, and you have to do this daily. This is her message to me yesterday. Doing it daily really helps you to become a part of it, right? So this new earth is fresh. This new earth is new, and it's It's new to the point where it's still building itself, and you can become a part of it by participating in the structuring of it, right? So from your heart space to the heart space of the earth, as you create a tether, and every morning you awake, the first thing you need to do is to tether your heart here to the earth. So we're going to go through that, but I'm giving you the visual of it, okay? All right, so I want you to go ahead and get your feet grounded in the proper manner. So feet should be flat. You shouldn't have your feet crossed. Your arms should be loose, all right? In preparation for this grounding, I do want you to take a sip of water because it may get a little thick, okay? Yeah, my internal water, I probably should do the same. Okay, so what you have to do is take your deep breaths like we talked about in the previous videos. I showed you all how to breathe. So deep breath in, and then I want you to breathe in love. Just keep breathing in love and releasing gratitude. Love and gratitude, two of the highest feelings that we have outside of bliss. All right, so love and gratitude together create bliss. Ashe, spirit. That was a complete straight download. Okay, so love and gratitude. Breathe in love. Breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love. And breathe out gratitude. I'm sending you all some energy to help with this. I'm sure there's some tension still from some things. All right, so I'm going to cut off some energy from you. Feel that release. We're going to unwind you a bit. Okay, Ashe. All right, so here we go. I want you to see a purple cord, a violet cord coming from your heart. And from that heart space, it's going to come down into the earth, and you're going to watch it in your mind's eye, so make sure your eyes are closed. And it's going to go down into the center or to the core of the earth. And I want you to see a heart-shaped, in case those of you who are still watching, your eyes should be closed anyway, a heart-shaped anchor. And I want you to anchor it into the ground inside of the center of the earth. So you can gently do it one of two ways. You can dig a little hole and take that heart and place it into the ground and then lovingly cover it back up. Or you can speak to Goddess Gaia, Mother of the Earth, and say, Gaia, can you please help me and support me and sustain me? I want to be here. I want to be a part of this earth. Right? You're giving it out, that you're sending a message out that it is clear this is what you want. And now you want to say, and Goddess Gaia, if you would please, give me little nudges, noticeable nudges of when I'm getting off track and reminding me to stay focused and any other thing that I need to be paying attention to, any signs and any signals. Make it very clear. This is your connection and your communication. You can ask for whatever you want. These are all suggestions, all right? Then I want you to breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude to whatever you've anchored, whatever request you've made, all right? And I want you to feel, as you sit up straight with your shoulders back, I want you to feel your heart anchored. I want you to feel that connection. I want you to feel supported and sustained in everything you just did. Okay? It is a reality. It is your reality. Now, as you come back into your beingness, feeling the seat beneath you, the bed beneath you, whatever is beneath you, take a deep breath in of love and breathe out immense gratitude and bliss. All right? And I really, 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 really want you to go about your day maintaining these feelings and maintaining these emotions. Don't forget that I'm going to be posting the soundtracks for you to write out your life vision board that you have to create. But I also want you to do the Christ consciousness video and repeat it as often as possible. That's going to help your body to keep working to release things from the old paradigm for the new paradigm. I think I answered all the questions. I know this was pretty lengthy. I do want to just say thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to share. Please remember to post this other places. I really, really feel like it's required for a lot of people to see this and hear this and respond. Um, and because it's so lengthy and I gave so much, I would definitely love that you all donate a love offering to the time and energy that I've put forth today. I'll leave that also below for you, my Cash App and my Venmo. I don't normally like asking for donations, but Spirit is like, you better ask, girl. So here I am asking anything I'm open to. So peace, love, and light to you always. Sending you lots of love. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. There is more to come. Yeah, loving to you all. Always, Capital L.